Hello to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on Solomon's Temple. I hope you're doing very well. My name is Solomon Nizanga Shams. They call me Uncle Solomon, as you can see right there. And this is Solomon's Temple. Yeah, Solomon's Temple, where we get to discuss everything regarding, our Christian faith across the African continent and how it affects and also involves an African. So whether you're an African living in diaspora, maybe in Ukraine, Poland, Germany, Canada, USA, Abu Dhabi, the UK, wherever you are, we know that you carry the seed of Africa's spirituality, and that is Christianity, and you always want to know what's going on back home here in Africa. So that is very, very important. And there are issues that we talk about that would help educate us, enlighten us, edify us, and that's important. So we look at issues and then we try to dissect it to and fro. So thank you so much for joining. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so. There's a lot of videos that you can check out that I'm sure is going to bless your life. There's been quite a lot of people that have been here hanging out, actually waiting for this episode of Solomon's Temple. I got Michaela saying, hey, Malume Souls, I can't wait anymore. Bring it on. I'm going to bring it on. I got Prophet Chris Eagle TV, waiting Uncle Soul, all the way from South Africa, from Switzerland, Evelyn. Saying from Switzerland, hello, Solomon. Thank you so much, Evelyn. We got Denise Doris from Harthis Beardsport. Yeah, just outside Johannesburg, no, close to Johannesburg, between Johannesburg and Northwest Province. In case you are not South African, you get that. Glad so, as usual. Hello, Uncle Soul. You're doing a great job for the kingdom of God. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Got Cecilia saying, hi, Uncle Solomon. Greetings from Zambia. If every man of God was like you, there would be order in churches because our God is not a God of confusion. Well, every man of God don't need to be like Solomon. We just need to be like God, because Solomon is trying to be like God every day. There are areas where I don't meet up. But one thing I know I don't do is I don't tolerate sin. And make sin your lifestyle and live with it. I think that's why a lot of men of God are struggling. When you get comfortable in sin, when you find yourself in sin, first thing is to repent. Second thing is, how do I get out of it? And the third thing is, how do I make sure I don't go back into it again? Because you see, like prisoners, people who go to prison and then come out, a lot of them go back to prison. They say about 75-80% of them actually, they reoffend and they put them back in prison, and it's the same thing with sin. If you struggle with fornication, if you come out of it, there's going to be another opportunity to go back into it. Make sure you don't go. If you struggle with adultery, if you come out of it, there's going to be another opportunity to go back into it. Make sure you don't go. You know what I'm saying? If you struggle with dishonesty, if you struggle with lying, if you struggle with fear, even fear, there is good fear, there is bad fear. If you struggle with bitterness, jealousy, God can bring you out of it. Make sure you stay out of it. And I think that's what a lot of men of God struggle with. Then there is... who is this? There's a message here from Centurion, watching from Centurion. Thank you so much. There's Rachel. Greetings from Dubai. We must put a stop to Randy church leaders normalizing, and it's unacceptable for a bishop to say, I was just joking about engaging. That's correct. That's correct. You can't just say you're just joking. You're dismissing it like it's not really a serious issue. That's very serious issue. Serious issue in your integrity. Yeah, Then there is Kuvuku saying, but when you want these pastors to leave pastoring. So he's saying, but you, Solomon, you want these pastors to stop pastoring. No, No, I didn't call them. I don't want them to stop pastoring. I want them to do the right thing. And if they're not doing the right thing when they're pastoring, they should step down and sort that out first. Or don't pastor. What's the point of you being a driver and then you're not driving well? What's the point of you being a doctor and then you don't do your operations right? Right, people are dying or people are just getting more sick when they come to you. What's the point? What's the point of you going into a restaurant and the restaurant's food does not taste well, but they tell you they're the best restaurant in town? No point, isn't it? Let me check one or two other comments and then we go on. There's Tabi Sile. Thank you. Good morning, Tabi Sile. Hadassah from Rustenburg. Thank you, guys. There's Clovis from Nigeria. Thank you. There's Samke from Abu Dhabi. There's my brother here, Osage, here in Randburg, Johannesburg. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And guys, I want to make a pledge. You know that I have a certain court cases that I need to deal with. First with Maponga, and then there's a case with Alf Lukau. I solicit for your prayer. We have an argument on the 10th of June. So please pray for me. I would really appreciate that. And also I appreciate you if you can contribute financially. You know, I've put in my money there quite a lot, but I need more money for me to be able to keep it going. You know, I need about, $5,000. So please, if you are in a position to give, whether it's little, $10, 100 Rand, 50 Rand, I'll really appreciate it because the case is at the High Court and it's definitely costing a lot. And please, if you want to help out, here are my PayPal details right there, scrolling under. SolomonTalks@yahoo.com. That's my PayPal details, SolomonTalks@yahoo.com. And then here is an account number, a NetBank account number, or if you want to do e-wallet, here is a phone number there. So I will leave that details to be scrolling under, just so if you want to contribute, please, I know you can. I know you're willing. This is not about Solomon, like some of you guys wrote here. This is about the truth. This is about the truth. This is about the truth. And we have to fight it on. I just want to let you know that there was even a case of a man of God, a bishop, who took me to court recently. And he got to a place where he said, no, let's settle out of court. And I had spent money. It's not like what he discovered, obviously it became obvious what I said was not a lie. My sources were ready to go to court. So maybe sometimes they threat court is just to intimidate you because they have the money. They can even go all the way in court and all that. But I'm not. I don't have the money. I don't have the money to do that, to be honest with you. I've spent a lot of my money doing that. So this is a crusade that you and I, if you want to clean up the church, then join me. If you want us to speak truth into the church, join me. If you want us to expose pastors and bishops who have been immoral and not doing what is right, and you've been victims, your family has been victims, your mothers, your sisters, they've lost money to all these fraudulent guys, join me, financially support me so we can do this together. Every single cent given to this goes in there, like everything. I cannot use that for any other thing. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'll leave the details right there. As you can see, my PayPal account is there, SolomonTalks@yahoo.com. And then there is the local South African banking details and NetBank account. Thank you so much. Appreciate each and every one of you. You're giving unto God's work, not unto me. Okay, somebody's saying if there's any way you can put the account number on the comment section that no one so that one can screenshot. Okay, thanks a lot. Let me put the PayPal PayPal here, so we can get it over with PayPal account here. Okay, there's the PayPal account. If you guys, the ones on YouTube, you can see it. I'm sure you can see it. And then let me put, just pardon me so I can get this over with. Just gonna get this over with. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah. So you guys watching on YouTube, on YouTube or whatever, okay, here's the banking details. So I put, thank you, Chi. I put on the banking details also and the PayPal account and everything. But I'm gonna also leave it scrolling and rolling for those who want to, who would need it. I'm gonna leave it scrolling. And also, if you want to visit GoFundMe, there's a GoFundMe account that a friend of mine in Canada opened for me. You can go there and just search for my name. You're gonna find that there, GoFundMe account, and you would see something like this. You will see something like this here. Yeah, legal fees for South African journalists and activists. You're gonna find that there. Yeah. So because I don't even know, I think maybe my attorney was telling me like maybe Bishop Makamu is also gonna take me to court. You know, because these things happen. But one thing I want to assure you is whatever I come to share here, I share it. I share the truth. That's one thing. I share the truth to the best of my ability, not to deceive anyone, and also not to defame anyone. I do not. I don't intend to do that. That is not what I do. I don't do that at all. I do not do that at all. On Monday, I'm going to be talking to another group of pastors from Universal Church. Some of you guys asked for, you know, another interview, and I'll bring a different group of pastors from Universal Church because there are so many pastors that went through Universal Church that went through so much. Today, they are so poor. They are homeless. They live on the streets. Some of them have been operated. They cannot even, you know, they cannot, you know, have kids anymore because of vasectomy and all that. So we need to talk about that. But you see, sometimes the danger for me talking about this is the threat to take me to court. And I cannot, either I stop because I've used a lot of my money and I'm getting to a place where I cannot use money anymore, or I get support and then I continue. I was telling somebody yesterday is if I have 10 million rand right now, there are certain things that I'm going to be so, you'll be shocked the kind of stories and investigations that I'm going to do here. If I had 10 million, every bit of that cent will go into it. Anyway, what are we talking about in the next few minutes? This is what we're talking about, Bishop Makamu's real girl. Now, during the week, when the news and the audio clip of that explicit conversation between Bishop Israel Makamu of Endless Hope Bible Church in Alberton in Johannesburg, South Africa, with this young girl, the conversation was very explicit, where he was soliciting to come and meet her so he could, you know, sleep with her, obviously. And she was saying, no, you know, it needs to be another time on a Sunday after church. They could do that and all that. Yeah. But he came out to defend himself to say, no, the conversation was not, it was about keys. And then he changed it. He said, no, he wanted to meet her because she's a staff in the church and he wanted to get, you know, office keys from her. And then he changed it later to say, no, it's not about that. I was just being playful. You know, I'd never engaged in any way sexually with her or any member of the church, but I was just being playful. And how are you playful? Right? Why are you playful? This bishop is about 40 or a little over 40 years of age now. He's very influential, has, you know, some of the very high rated TV shows on Moja Love TV around South Africa. He runs a funeral parlor called I Makamu Funeral. And he makes so much money there. His wife is a CEO of that. He goes around doing crusades and revival meetings across the country. So obviously, this man is an influential person. And you now are respected, you call yourself a bishop. I don't know who ordained him, how he got to be a bishop, but you call yourself a bishop. On your TV program, you advise people on relationships. On your TV program, you talk about morality. On your TV program, you correct people when they are doing wrong in their marriage, in their relationship. And now you are caught red-handed via this audio tape with this content. What does that say about you? One word for him: hypocrite. You see, for me, once you find yourself in sin, you just confess and repent. That's just the easiest thing to do. Once you begin to defend yourself and justify, then you complicate yourself, because it shows that you're not really repentant. I'm not telling people to repent to me. Who am I? I'm not God. Do I look like him? I don't even look like God. God is not black like me. God is all colors. And I'm just one of the colors from the colors of God. And it was sad that when this came out, he had to be asked to step down from presenting. And I made a statement yesterday. I said, what is he waiting for, not stepping down from leading his church, Endless Hope Bible Church? What is he waiting for? Why are people not actually coming out and saying, no, you need to step down and be restored? Let's step down and go through some sort of a discipline process. Step down until there is some sort of investigation by independent people. Because he is clear, if a man of God, a pastor, can talk about, a bishop can talk about what he talked about in that audio clip, it shows that the bishop, Makamu, is a broken man. He's a very broken man. Because it takes a lot for one thing. And anybody that says that, you're a broken man. So what is a broken man like him that is so broken? Why are you leading people? Why? You need to step down and get yourself sorted out. We're all broken, I know that. But you see, there are levels when it comes to brokenness. So he needs to step down, really reconcile his relationship with God again. Let's say there was no any intimacy between them, right? So I'm saying from a point of no intimacy between them. But for him to say what he said, okay, let's say there was intimacy, and then is she the only girl? Maybe there are other girls. Who knows? Maybe there are so many of them. Who knows? He's a powerful man, a wealthy man, remember? So afterwards, there was this, what do you call it? There was quite a lot of, what do you call it? There was photos of a girl who trending on social media, who people claim is the girl whose voice was in that conversation with Bishop Makamu. Now the photos went viral, isn't it? It went very viral. And people saw it. People were making fun of it and all that kind of stuff. And when I saw it, I knew, but this is not the girl. You're missing the point here. And it went really, really viral on social media networks. But she's not the girl, because I know this girl. Even their skin tone is totally different. And even this girl who went viral, she looks older. Looks like someone way in her 20s or in her early 30s. But the girl whose voice was in that audio, she was a teenager when it happened. She was 17 when it happened. But anyway, I'll talk a little bit, give you a little bit more details around her later. But for us to see someone like this, a respected, said to be respected man of God, this is him and his family. 3 children. You can see his wife. His wife is also involved in the church very much. And she is the CEO of their business, their funeral parlor business, Makamu Funerals. Now, for him to come and say what he said in that audio is disrespectful to his wife, his beautiful wife here, and his children. And claiming it's playful, it was just in a playful mode, is disrespecting you and I. He disrespected us. Why? Why? What is all that about? What is all this about? Now, let me introduce you for some of you guys who are international, who hasn't seen the photo of the girl that was said to be the girl's whose voice was on the audio. This is the girl who a lot of people claim was on the audio. And if you look at her, for me, she's like over 25 at the end of it, you know. So this is the girl who allegedly voice was on that audio, but she is not the girl. She is the wrong girl. That is total fake news because she is not the girl. She doesn't even know the bishop. She has never met the bishop. Her family had to come out and actually say, look, you guys should stop, sharing that photos, her photos, because she is totally not the girl. She doesn't even know what you're talking about at all. So, and it's social media, so people can sit down and just take a photo from somewhere and just because they want to trend, because they want to just create controversy and pick certain photos of somebody and just create something out of it. And that's exactly what happened with this girl. People even went as far as putting it together this way. The moment I saw it, I was like, no, that's not her. And people were even making fun of it. The bishop knows how to pick a girl and all that. Bishop, I don't blame you for doing this and all that, So you moved your eye from the atrocity, from the sin that was committed to just making fun of it. And that's how we make fun of sin, that it becomes very light. And we don't get anything. At the end of the day, we don't get anything out of it. Nothing to learn. Well, let me introduce you to this girl. This is the girl now whose voice was in that audio. And I'm introducing her. I'm going to withhold certain information from you because when this happened, she was 17. She was a minor. Right? So all I can tell you is I'm just going to give you her first name. I'm not going to give you her second name. Her first name is Mpo. That's all I can tell you. Now there are thousands of Mpo. So you're not even going to be able to find that out. All right? And I'm going to show you her photos, but I'm not going to show you her face. Again, legally, because of what happened, she was underage, right? Now, this is her. And I want you to take a look at it carefully. I want you to take a look at it carefully. I want you to look at the heart that she's wearing and read out what is there on the heart. She was a young girl. I want you to look at it carefully. Look at it extremely carefully. Now, she was a very young girl, obviously. I'll tell you a little bit about her. She was born in March, actually, to be precise, the 6th of March, 2000. And this incident was said to have happened in 2017. So that's like 17 years later. So currently, she just turned 21 about 2 months ago. Right? And when she started working at the church, she had just finished her matric, her secondary school, her high school. Then she started working. She was working there as a receptionist. This is her here in her school uniform. You can see her hair, obviously. You know, you're a student, there's a certain way that you need to make your hair. And you can see, if you're South African, you understand the kind of uniform that she's putting on right now. So she was definitely somebody who is, or who was very, 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 very innocent for somebody who is at that age, you know, just fresh out of school. There's so much innocence. Yeah, we agree that high school kids or secondary school kids, they're naughty and all that, but you're not going to compare them with someone in their late 20s or 30s and all that kind of stuff. They do not have that kind of experience, you know. And some people will say, well, but she, you know, these girls are like that. And no. When somebody has his age, who is maybe almost 40 then, dealing with somebody who's 17, there's just no way you're going to say what you have to say to somebody who's a teenager who keeps calling you daddy. No. He disrespected himself before her. And I'm going to talk about, you know, what I think are some of the damages that has caused to this young girl that she's probably going to struggle with for a long time in her life. I'll show you this other photo here. This is her also. And let me just say something. There's somebody here, and some people are commenting. I just saw it. They said it's very wrong to post a picture of children. They are innocent and deserve to be protected in all of this. No, you can't tell me it's wrong to post pictures of their children, of the children. I'm trying to establish to you that he's a family man, right? And also the picture that you saw there of his family, this picture is all over the media. He was the one who gave, it's a public picture. He was the one who released those photos to the public. So you cannot say, you know, it's wrong to put the kids there. No. All you need to do yourself, Neoline, is to just Google it now. Go to News 24. You're going to see that picture right away. So for you to come here to say it's wrong, no. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. The picture, that picture, if there are kids that you've never seen before, then it's totally something different. And the way that I'm even trying to address it, I'm even trying to give him a benefit of the doubt that nothing happened between them. Right? Just for the benefit of a doubt. But it's still wrong. You shouldn't have that conversation. So whether you are saying nothing happened between them, yes, but that conversation itself is totally wrong. If a leader, a church leader has, is caught in such conversations, he needs to, it's clear that he has a big problem and he needs to step down and go deal with certain things before he comes back. If not, he's going to destroy himself and destroy other people. It's that simple. So it's you need to know that some people are saying, well, he didn't do anything with her. He never really slept with her. You want my opinion? He slept with her. That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. From what I see there, that's what happened. That's what I think happened. And do you know what's going on behind the scene now? Do you know right now there are even conversations that is going on right now, allegations saying that the wife of Bishop Makamu is trying to silence, that's I just saw it here now, the wife of Makamu tried to pay off the family to shut up. And you see, when you see such comments, don't just take it lightly. There are people here in this conversation that follows me and my broadcast that know a lot more than maybe I know of. So, because I've heard so many times, allegedly, that the wife had been covering up for him for a long time. She knows what has been going on. She knows about his shenanigans. She knows. I know a lot of you guys are here to defend him. I know a lot of you guys are here to defend him. And that's fine. You have the right to do that. Right? Let me get something here that I could read for you. I'm actually trying to get an info here. There's somebody that posted their story here. Can you repost it again? There's somebody here who has gone through almost similar things. There's somebody here who I saw. Melba, please, can you please Melba, please send me that story of the person who posted a story here, which is also a very sad story, almost similar story of being taken advantage of. If you can just send it to me on my WhatsApp or something, so I can check it out, Melba, please. Or you can post it here so people can see it again. Also post it here so people can see it again, but also post it to me into my WhatsApp account, WhatsApp number. So now there's, a lot of people ask me, Solomon, do you think the wives of some of these bishops and pastors who are involved in all this funny things, do you think they know? Or I don't think the wife knows and all that. I tell them, first thing, most of the women, the wives, they know. Either they sense it and they know, but there's nothing they can do about it, or they know, but then they have to cover them up and protect them and even fight the victims and even attack the victims from the pulpit, privately, phone calls, and whatever, just because they're trying to make sure that the church is not affected, or the church is not destroyed, or their husband is not taken away, or their husband is not into trouble, in any sort of trouble. Please, Melba, send it to me into my WhatsApp now, the screenshot. And that is the problem. A lot of them do know. Yes, I believe that some of them are helpless and there's just nothing that they can do. But some of them are not. Some of them are co-conspirators. Because obviously they live, if you're a man from DC, you're living a good life, everything is going on fine, you have this, you have that, you have that. And once you have this sort of scandal, it affects the church, right? Obviously, now it's going to affect their funeral business. It's also going to affect, people's devotion to them. So it's going to affect their finances. That's what it is. That's what it is. And here's my major problem here, right? Where is that photo? Here's my major problem. So this is not the girl, but here we have Bishop Makamu, right? So this father, husband, bishop, businessman, TV presenter, in that phone call with this girl, you can see the hat that she's wearing is Bishop I. Makamu Ministries. With this young girl, who was about 17 at that point. Now, how would you feel if your 17-year-old sister, 17-year-old daughter was in a conversation with almost a 40-year-old man, that sort of conversation in that audio? How would you feel? Do you know what that has done to this girl? That has destroyed her mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Next time she's in any relationship, she's going to be suspicious that the person that she's going out with, he's also going to be looking at other women, because she has watched the bishop do that. Even if she goes out with the bishop or she goes out with the pastor, she's not going to trust them totally. So the element of trusting a man in her life as a young girl has been affected. The element of her believing in faithfulness, one man to one woman, has been affected. And she will get into a situation, maybe into a marriage or relationship later, that even if her husband or her boyfriend is having another woman, for her, it's expected, it's okay. So that has damaged her to not go after faithfulness. No, it's fine. All men cheat. No, it's fine. Men do that a lot. It's fine. Even if they're in church, it's fine. That has damaged her. That has damaged her in trusting leaders. How do you now trust leaders, especially church leaders? She was 17. How would you want her now to trust leaders? She's going to be suspicious. What do you want? How do you even want her to trust the church? How? How? And why? You see the damage that's been done to this 17-year-old schoolgirl? This is her here in a school uniform. Short hair, had a curtain there, obviously. So whatever side of the fence you sit in, that's up to you. But the truth is always going to be the truth. There's no any other way to it. There's no any other way to it. She's 21 years of age now. Do you know what had happened between that phone call in 2017 and now? Do you know the kind of damage? Do you know how many boyfriends she has gone through? Do you know how many intimacy, she's gone through? Do you know how many boyfriends have not treated her well? Because she has this thing now about men. You just do whatever they want to do, because anyway, even if they're having another woman, is fine. Do you know what that had done to her? Maybe she comes from a home where there's no father, like some South African homes. So there's no male presence there to even guide her and to help her correct and make her understand that, look, that's Bishop Makamu's approach, and it's wrong, it's sinful. But not all men are that way. Don't allow any man to do that to you. She was innocent. You can say, well, she went into a relationship with a married man. She's 17 and he's her leader. He pays her salary. Do you know what that means when you're when you are in a position of power? Do you know what that means? So I just wanted to share that, and it's just sad for me. It's just sad for me to see that and to be able to understand that. Like I said, on Monday, I'm going to bring a group of pastors who are going to talk about Universal Church also. We're going to investigate Universal Church a little more deeper also. And yeah, we're going to look at that. And I want to thank every one of you. I want to thank my sister here. Thank you for your financial help. She's helped out with my legal courses. If you want to help out, please do. Thank you, Chi. Fine babe. Thank you for helping out. I need to go to court on the 10th of June. We're having a hearing, an argument. And yeah, so if you want to support, here's my PayPal account there. The PayPal details is there. solomontalks@yahoo.com. There's the banking detail also scrolling there, and I also posted it in there. Thank you so much, every one of you. I really appreciate each and every one of you. We have somebody here, Larato, saying, Solomon, I feel like you are one-sided. She was 17 at that time. So you say at that age, it is a phase where young girls date for money. I've seen this happen in most. It's not about young girls dating for money. So you think me here now, being a 40-something-year-old man, or I'm a 30-something-year-old, and a young girl at 17 comes to me to date me, or I even want to date her, and I'm a pastor, and now you're going to say, whether she dates for money or not dates for money, she didn't force herself to. There's no way a 17-year-old can force a 37 or 38-year-old Bishop Makamu into a relationship. Did she force him? Actually, men are the one that ask for relationships in most cases, only in very tiny cases. So Lerato, I'm really disappointed that you're a female and you're bringing that into the conversation. And I'm not saying the girl is totally innocent. No, I'm not saying that. We can talk about that, or we can talk about what made her want to go into relationship with somebody who's a leader, who's older than her, who's married. What kind of family does she come from? Was she ever taught? Was there men in the home? Was her father there to teach her? Or was it poverty that is driving her to do that? So we can have a whole conversation around that. You know what I'm saying? We can have a whole conversation around that. But for you to want to tell me it's something else, we know girls, when they're teenagers, obviously, if you come from a home where you don't have enough, you want to date boyfriends who have money so they can take care of you and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, sure enough, it does happen, but that's not the gist. That's not the issue. The issue is a man of God, a bishop, going into a relationship with a teenage girl or having a conversation with a teenage girl that is very inappropriate, totally inappropriate conversation with a teenage girl. Or even if she's not a teenager, with a girl that is not your wife. Inappropriate relationship. Then you come to tell us you were just being playful. 17-year-old girl or boy is a child. It's a child. Look at when you were 17, now that you were maybe 20 something or 30 something, you look back now, there are so many things that you did that was just because you're just a child. You don't know any other way to do it. That's why when a 17-year-old commits a crime, they're not going to go and put him with the older people. He's juvenile. You cannot even try them in court until they get to a certain age, 21 or so. Then you can try them. Because they know when you're that age, you're vulnerable. You have impressions. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you, and may the Lord bless you. For some of you guys who are, looking forward to the weekend, and you're going to have a great weekend. May God bless you. May he keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you. May he make you a people that you will be known for the truth, nothing else. That when people talk about you, they would start by talking about how truthful you are, how you love truth. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend.